Hello and welcome to the Saturday morning smart home tech, whatever else stream. Thank you for being here. If you're one of the regulars, I appreciate you coming back. I always enjoy doing this stream. To the new folks, welcome. This is kind of a free-for-all stream. I will throw out there, since we talk about smart home stuff, what are your thoughts on some of the stuff that has been announced at CES? If you aren't aware, CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, happened last week, or this week, and of course, a ton of smart home stuff announced. All the major companies are there announcing stuff. So yeah, I mean, we've got transparent TVs coming out. Sony's got a concept car. It's pretty interesting. So I'm curious to know what you guys are interested in that's coming out. We did talk about some of this in the member stream before this. Channel members, check it out. I do have a little mini rant there about why Amazon is going to lose the smart home game. A little teaser. No, and we also talked about during the member stream, some of the new Apple stuff coming out. That's another thing. Apple's Vision Pro goes on pre-sale on next Friday. So are you gonna spend $3,600 to buy the Vision Pro, which isn't AR or VR? It is, I forget what they call it. Anyways, now let's say hi to folks in the chat. Richard, hey, good afternoon, Richard. John, good morning from a very icy cold Texas. Ice, I don't like ice. Yesterday was freezing here, and I was walking my dog, and someone's sprinklers went off, and it had just frozen, and I see my dog slip. He's like, whoa, and then right behind him, whoa. So yeah, the ice, man, how many bones have been broken because of ice? So stay safe, and just stay safe, stay off the roads. Devon, good morning to you. Nick, good morning from frigid and windy Ohio. Yeah, this is the weekend of like craziness in the whole in the Midwest up to the East Coast, and yeah, whoa. And Bill Wilson, oh man, that's brutal. That is brutal. When you're getting into the negative degrees. So, oh man, that is, I'm gonna warm everything up. Happy Saturday from this cold and getting colder Midwest. Craig's going to warm up with your questions shortly. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. My apologies if it takes a little bit to get to them. One thing I pride myself on and one thing I enjoy about the stream is that every comment we talk about, read, and any questions we try to answer thoroughly as possible. So thank you. Chantal was at our member stream, not getting the Vision Pro. I was really surprised. It's only $3,600. I'm not kidding. Jack Steiner, good morning to you. And 40 degrees. Oh yeah. We got 37. We got you beat in SoCal. Yeah, Sacramento. Man, yeah, it's I basically grew up in Fresno area, and I do remember when I was younger, I lived in Modesto, which was a little further north, and we went to Sacramento to visit the capital. I remember I went, don't remember. So, welcome, thank you for being here. Erkan, I'm so sorry, Erkan. I'm sorry. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. And Curtis, hey, good seeing you here. JSW Rebel, good morning. A lot of new folks here. It's awesome. Steven, you're here. Good. We can finally get started now. I was just killing time till I knew you were here. So, very nice big TV. That's one thing you always see at CES TVs. And yeah, it's insane now, the stuff that's going on with TVs, glass-like TVs. Come on, can we actually show the item? Now, the idea of like a transparent TV, see-through OLED, that is incredible. Where we're at now with some of this. Unfortunately, prices are going to be insane for a while. And to be honest, I don't know how cool that is, actually. I'm like, I don't know if why do I want to see my wall? Never mind, don't like it. Moving on. So, is there any TVs you were looking at that looked interesting? John, JSW, 2 degrees. Man, that is not white. Guten Morgen. Is that good morning? Did I get that right? Wait and see. Wait and see for what? So, John, good morning, John. Thank you. John's been a longtime member and supporter over do the Amazon live streams. Nick, been there on so many of those. John, Smart Things is going to get bigger. Is it? Is it? I'm curious. I mean, I say that with genuine curiosity. Is it? Because I feel like, and I say that as someone who I feel like Smart Things is something that I hear so much about, but never hear anyone actually use. So that's just me. Sergio, the transparent, but John, let me know if there's something that looks interesting with it. The transparent TV looks cool, but I don't think I'd buy one. Yeah, it looks cool until you kind of think about it. You know what? I'd buy a transparent TV instead of a fish tank. So if I just wanted something visually cool to look at, just have fish swimming across it. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't seem so practical. The roll-up OLED seems a lot more practical. Not necessarily practical, but kind of cool. So maybe you just have the OLED TV that you're not watching, it just disappears and there's a picture behind it. You know, you guys don't own a TV? Oh no, we strictly read books. Kidding. Let's see. David, thank you, man, for being here. Hi, Craig. Hope you're doing well. Waiting for the Arctic blast the UK should be getting next week around 14 Fahrenheit, -10 C. Wow, that is a blast. I'm wondering, is that the storm that Midwest is experiencing now that next week is going to make it to you? John, I am going to be gone, and I appreciate you mentioning that. I'm going to be gone next Saturday. I got some family stuff, and the following Saturday. So, yeah, I'm tied up both weekends. So I'm here, and then I'll be back. What's that? Susan, hey, we're all going to Brandon, Florida, where it's nice and warm, 62. No, that is nice and cool. So, David, either I'm a little slow, but since when can you share Apple AirTags with other iPhone users? So more than one person can track the same tag. Yeah, I've never tried that. My wife hated having AirTags, and I'm the only one that's using them now. So, yeah, I'm curious. Let me grab an AirTag. Oh, no. Devices. No, items. There we go. I don't carry keys. Oh, share this AirTag. Add a person. Others can locate the AirTag. Everyone who shares the AirTag can locate it in Find My. Tracking notifications will be muted. No one who shares the AirTag will get notified when it's near them. That is interesting. So, yeah, you could share it with other people, but they won't get the notification if they walk away from it because it's your item. So that's really smart. Because, yeah, you don't want every time they drive away from the house, every time you leave, you get a notification. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't realize that was new. Andy, hello, Andy, welcome. Heel Bevins, hey, thank you for being here. Hey, Craig, good morning, afternoon from Roanoke? Is it Rapids, North Carolina? Now, how is that? How far away is that from like the water? I don't know. I think I've only been in North Carolina. Is North Carolina where they have a Dixie Stampede? I did the lighting, did some updating on the lighting programming of a Dixie Stampede, and I don't remember if it was North Carolina or South Carolina. Stephen, last night the wind blew the mice off the electric company's treadmill. It got down to 26 inside, 45. It's Kentucky. Oh man, that is brutal. 45. Oh man, that's when generator is needed. Solar. Not solar, or like one of the little battery banks at that point. That way you could keep the internet on, a space heater, And yeah, oh my gosh. Curtis, 32 degrees with wind chill, 19 in Wisconsin. Oh my God, yeah. Wisconsin, that's where my sister's at. I forget the name. Rhinelander? Is that it? Chantal, a screensaver of a fish tank on an Apple TV is probably cheaper on a transparent TV. So, let me give you the latest information. A HomePod like Google Nest Hub is coming with a nice screen that can FaceTime and access your Apple subscriptions. The screen will be the size of an iPad Mini. That's gonna be interesting. It's really going to be interesting. I think what's going to be interesting about that is Apple going to be able to to use word of mouth. You know, I've never seen a commercial for Apple over the years that told people how to use AirDrop, but every mother, I think, in the past 5 years at my daughter's schools have learned how to use it just by like, oh, you don't know AirDrop? Okay. You know, my non-tech wife has shown other people AirDrop. Here, you just turn it on, then I just AirDrop it to you. And it's like, oh, cool. Well, is Apple's smart display going to be something like that, where you walk into your friend's house and you actually see something cool kind of go on, and you're like, boom, you answer FaceTime call. Yeah, okay, yep, just be home. I'll pick you up around 8. You know, you do that, and then a friend that's over is like, what's that? Like, oh yeah, it's Apple's screen. You could just Face ID on it, and you could also watch Apple TV. You start seeing that stuff happen. That's what the Echoes did in the beginning. A lot of word of mouth and people seeing them in other people's homes. What happens when Apple starts to run a screen, for the iPhone users, which I don't know, it's just under 50% of the U.S. Uses iPhones. So it could be interesting. I like that idea. Erkin, I'm so sorry. I feel I'm getting it wrong. Devon, Craig, there are future releases coming to Apple TV Plus. What's the load? What's the breakdown on there, Devon? What's coming up? I just finished watching Monarch, which I don't know how I feel about it. I wasn't in love with it, but it wasn't bad. I don't know if I would watch the movies of Godzilla and King Kong to learn how the stories intertwine. But yeah, that's anything else coming out on Apple TV? Andy, it's pronounced Roanoke. Okay. As the Californian going to Massachusetts, I'm like, the way things are pronounced, I'm like, that is not Peabody. That is Peabody. Clear as day. Worcester. You're like, that's like Worcestershire. Moran, hey, good seeing you here. Welcome. Mitchell, good morning from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hey, welcome. I think you're our first person from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Heels Bevins, Dixie Stampede is in South Carolina. Got it. Have you ever been to it? I learned that horses do not like the sound of the fog machines because they sound like snakes. So they would have to kind of train them up going near the little fog machines to get the psst of the fog to not scare the horses. I also learned in quite a while that camels and horses don't like each other very much. And camels spit and just poop everywhere. They suck. So anyways, I bet you all wanted to know that. John, on CSI, they have a great, at CES, they have a great booth, smart thing for the last 2 years, has more devices, and you can use Aqara devices, can be used with them and have a good display too. Yeah, that's I know Brian's had a lot of coverage on smart things going on. Brian at Automate Your Life. So yeah, I feel like I see it pop up there. I hear about it. I see that you couldn't get the Samsung Smart Things hub. They were like out of stock everywhere. Yeah, I really didn't know where things were at with it. He'll, oh, yeah, not now, Dave. I sent my Aqara cube back, was doing my head. Now, did you have the Pro or the other cube? I've only bought the Pro and it's been solid. I only have 3 things programmed, but even when I gently put it down, at times it triggers, but then other times I don't put it down gently and it doesn't trigger. And yeah, so that's, but the Pro one has worked pretty well. I didn't own the one prior to it. Yeah, the Pro one works with HomeKit, but the prior one didn't, I think. Okay, good. Yes, I'm glad I got it right. And from Istanbul, thank you. Thank you for being here. Moran, Ted Lasso is one of the best TV shows on Apple TV Plus. You know what? And wait, let me go back real quick. Hill Bevins, Craig, a few weeks ago, I got an Ultra Watch 2 and an iPhone 15 Pro Blue, 256 gigabytes. I love them both. That's awesome. Very cool. And since you got them both, you know you can use your watch as a camera viewfinder. So like you want to do a little family picture or anything, I actually use it so much that I have the little icon on there so that I just launch and it opens up the camera app, goes right into the camera app, and then I get a preview here. So you do photos with timers and all. Great to be able to use to set up a shot so not everything's a selfie. If you're on a family trip, just a little tripod, you're click. So, let's see. Okay, we want to back up. Roger, 17 degrees in Seattle. Oh my God. And I know I remember seeing a few times and hearing from some people that worked in Seattle that I'd worked with, that when snow gets out of control, that a lot of the areas kind of aren't equipped for some of those heavy snows where it kind of shuts things down, as far as I know. Like, got the rain covered, but the snow side, so, which sounds great to me. Just trap me at home, well, too much snow, can't go anywhere. So that I do have to remember to finish. I need to finish near 10 because I have to drive my daughter to dance. She has a total of 7 hours of dance classes through the week. She's crazy. She loves taking dance. So she has 3 hours worth of dance today, which good for her. She's digging it. Caesar, I feel like the Apple TV programs will be dead for a while now. 52 degrees in Long Beach. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, welcome. Good to see you here in Long Beach. We're, actually, I think spring break. We'll be heading down that direction to go catch the Catalina Express. Go out there for a couple of days. But very cool. And yeah, it's the weird thing with Apple TV is I feel like they just kind of pop things out where you go, okay, it's dead. Ted Lasso's gone. Hijack. Watch Hijack if you haven't. That's a good one. You get a couple of those in there that's dead, and then somehow like Monarch comes up, like boom, #1, and it's about Godzilla, and it's kind of crazy. So I am curious to see if they have anything good come up, but I could totally see the being a little dead for a while. John, I think Apple HomeKit is way behind the other smart home devices. They don't care as much to update. See, and John, I would 100% disagree. And the reason why is, and I want to make a video again on it, is I don't think people realize just how much you can do on the Apple Home and the HomeKit side. Now, when it comes to devices, that's been the struggle. And it's not that Apple doesn't care. Apple approaches their smart home like they do their phones. So they're like, hey, we're privacy and security. Well, that's what HomeKit has its own protocol. And Matter, a big part of Matter is HomeKit. It actually, the HomeKit API was used as a big part of Matter. So what we're seeing now is the industry is raising, the standard is raising the bar to where Apple's been living the whole time. It's from a security standpoint and all that. So you're like, Matter is HomeKit, you know, with Amazon putting some and some other folks. But that's where the actual operating system, let's see, you know, it's just like the navigation of things. Like I go into the app and, okay, let me grab something other than a light. Let's just grab a light. TV lights. Okay, I grab my TV lights. I can control everything hitting a button. I could hit the little gear icon, make sure I'm not revealing anything, and it shows me every automation that thing is in. Now, let me click on one of those automations. Living room lights. Oh, let me click on that scene. Living room lights at 11 p.m. So now I've not only clicked on the light, I saw it. I saw every automation that light is programmed into. I could click any of those automations, see exactly what it does. Ooh, morning scene. I could then go within the automation, modify a scene, and that's going to save into everything else. So now my morning light scene, I could then add or remove accessories into that. Now I didn't swipe, I didn't go to menus, I didn't go through 14, you know, I didn't have to go all over the place because you can only hit this one thing from right there, or you can only do this from here, you know. So there's things like that that are just, that rocks. You know, this screen, it blows everything out. You know, lights. Okay, these are the 9 lights on in my house. Oh, well, let's, you know what? I could go right in there, manipulate it, change everything. Oh, that extra light. I can verify, oh, these are, it's not currently in any automation at all, but I could see the 6 scenes it's in. So it's programmed, like you see that navigation, those options, smashes the controls that are in there. Now, the one thing I like to point out, oh, this is the, see, like from an automation standpoint, automation plus, do I want an access or add an automation? I can have it consistently trigger anytime an automation whenever people leave. Not when Amazon decides it's in beta or doesn't do this or blah, blah, blah. I can have things happen at a time of day. I don't know who you are. I can have an accessory control control anything. So now every single item in my house can trigger anything else in my house. That stuff is like, you can't do that. Like you still cannot, and it blows my mind. And this is the stuff that irritates the hell out of me. There are my table lights. There are my overhead lights. Well, the way I have it set up is, well, I think let's press on that. No, I'm not going to add that in. But I have it set up so one light triggers another. So let's see, my table light, next, when it turns on, next, it's going to take the kitchen and just turn it all on. So with one light switch, I triggered a scene there. I triggered a scene. I could then add in more stuff if I want. So those things are just from a smart home standpoint, will just destroys the Echo Smart Home. Now, when it comes to talking to you, giving you information, no, Amazon's going to blow away Apple on the assistant side of things. But smart home side, so that's where I run all the smart home through HomeKit. If I want to know what the weather is, I'll ask. You know, so, but yeah, that's just one of those things I like to point out, the depth, because, and it's not one of those things I'm trying to fight you, John, on it. It's just the idea is I think there's so many layers that people don't know about, that is very fluid, it's easy, it's logical, you know, it's Apple. So anyways, just throwing that out there because I love it when people try it and they go, ooh, yeah, I didn't know it can do that. Switch A can turn on switch B? That's all I've wanted for like 7 years. So, you know, so things like that, check it out. I highly recommend if you get a chance to play around, do it. If you see a HomePod at Sam's Club or Costco and it's a great deal, think about it. If you already own one of these and you like the smart home, go play. It's 65 bucks, you know, or 79 if you find them on sale. But yeah, that's one of those I'm passionate about because I know what I do within it. But I also know the limits, that if you want to have an announcement and then you want to get a weather report, traffic update, fact of the day, news report, all that stuff, don't go to Apple. Don't go to the HomePod. It's called a HomePod. It's not a smart assistant. You know, it's not, everything's about, with Apple Home, it's about the home, not Siri. So Siri is just the input, you know. So yeah, that's what I challenge you. Play. If you're an iPhone user, play. Even if you own just an iPad, you can set up HomePods right from an iPad. You can manage your home. And see, that's another thing I like. And I know that Echoes, they do the same thing. They also have an app for the iPad. But let's go full screen with that. But this, I mean, that's a smart home controller. That's all this is. It's to control a smart home. You know, climate, where are we at? Thermostat set to there, my front shades open, lights, okay. And everything at the speed of a click, you know, put this as their smart display. So I'm a big fan of that. Sorry, that's my rant for the day, folks. Hopefully that's just it. No. But anyways, so but yeah, play around, have a good time with it, and try the different stuff. Come on, John, appreciate it. Come on, folks, 60 watching, only 7 thumbs up. God, I'm making people unhappy today. Never been there. Oh yeah, no Dixie Stampede. If anybody's not familiar with that, Dixie Stampede is a Western version of medieval times. You know, you have 2 different teams, competition stuff, and you know, you eat with your hands, whole chicken, or yeah. Yeah. Oh, not now, Dave. I've seen a video from CS of a new Aqara voice controller. Looks like an AirTag though. Yeah, the Aqara's got some good stuff coming up. I just don't know how. CS announcement. Some of it, I don't, like the new hub, I just don't see a lot of use for some of this stuff. Yeah, Aqara has a new Home Copilot, the new chatbot interface for the Aqara Home app, which is powered by Gen AI. Home Copilot's designed for an enhanced user experience by utilizing ambient intelligence, which helps convert real-time data into insights. Yeah, I don't see, and some of that, I don't really feel like, from my standpoint, that's a lot, that's going to really move the needle too much on some of the things. Now, what they do have, and this is an interesting one. This lock here, I don't want that style of lock. It doesn't fit my house, but I like that it's available. The plug to act as a border router for Thread devices is great. That's only going to enhance your Thread signal with the smart plug that you're already using. So some of that stuff I think is cool, but some of the other stuff I feel like we're just kind of don't know why. No, I didn't see their voice thing. I saw their different devices there, but I missed that. But yeah, I do like the Matter thing's a tough one. I can kind of care less because couldn't care less because of the fact that I've already bought stuff that works with all the assistants. I think it's a nice addition for stuff that didn't used to work with it, but Aqara stuff's been working for my Apple and Amazon Home, that none of that really kind of moves the needle. If anything, I worry about it acting up because it is Matter. So, let's see. But yeah, I'll have to look for that AirTag type thing. But I do like Aqara and what they've accomplished with their AI. Yeah, that's Andrew. My Samsung TV. Hey, Andrew, welcome. And sound bars have smart things installed. The only benefit is seeing who's at the door on my Ring doorbell and controlling my sound bars from my phone. See, that's cool. I didn't know you could see your Ring doorbell. I like that. Gordon, I know a few snakes. Yeah. So that is, yeah. I do remember camping, and we almost stepped on a big black snake that was like super long. And then another snake experience in Australia where it came into the house where we were staying, and one of the coworkers I was there with, she walked into her room, and a snake, big old snake, came through a sliding glass door. I ran. No. So, John, I do have the Aqara lock. It is the lock I'm still using. Good news. Good news for folks. Don't buy it here because I don't get a piece of the action. But Best Buy is now carrying Aqara devices. So you can, I don't know if you can walk into the store and buy them. I haven't looked yet at that. But now, pick up on the 17th. Oh, it's just delivery going on. But yeah, you can get the lock and the doorbell. Lock's regular price there. Where Amazon, the Aqara lock is, see, $189. You say, and there's a $40 off. God, what is that? Let's copy, paste this. Then we get a little piece of the action. If you guys want to use that link. But this is what I'm using right now. This is my preferred lock. I may still make a video on all the devices I'm using in my house. And yeah, this is still on. I have the Schlage Encode Plus in just boxed up in my garage right now. But yeah, I think it's a great choice. At $149 for a smart lock that has 9 different ways to open it. You know, Apple Homekit, works with all the assistants. It's one of the best choices I feel like out there. The fingerprint sensor is super fast. My family all is programmed in there so anybody can open the door quickly. You know, phone, home key, all things that you can't do on a lot of locks, especially at this price point. So I do like this a lot. And I haven't, it's been very consistent for me. I did make a video on it last year. I want to say around May or June. I've only changed the 4 AA batteries one time. It's been great. Yeah, Dixie Stampede, also in Branson, Missouri. Yeah, I think those are the only 2 locations, Branson and South Carolina. I've never been to Branson. I know people who have worked there in the business, but yeah, never been. Yeah, was the pro. Every time I put it down or move it, it sets off a routine when I didn't want it to. Yeah, that's the problem. It's almost like you gotta move it gently. Just move it gently. No, it's like you gotta move it and not flip it at the same time. Or like for me, this is what it's on now is my video lighting to my regular lighting and all that. But Debbie, hey Debbie, welcome from Pittsburgh, Kansas. Is that right? How can my friend call me at night when my Echo Show by bed? He does not have one. Go Chiefs. Nice. How can he call you at night? On a phone? No, if they don't have one. Well, the only other option, the option I can see is if you wanted to let them call you at night on an Echo Show, you could have your friend download the app onto their phone. And then when you download it onto their phone, you can give them permission. You put them in their in your contacts under the Echo, and then you give it permission under drop-in in the settings. You give it permission to that contact, and then they can go into the Lady A app, open up the Lady A app, and I believe you can you can do it right from here. Communicate, I believe, and then you can do a call under communicate. There's a little call button, and you should be able to do it that way. And you don't need to own an Echo Show. The person would just need to have an Amazon account to log in to the app initially. Boom, got that one. Big surprise. Little Rock was John, Little Rock has more snow than New York's have had. It's so weird. It's crazy. We've had freezing weather. We've had snowstorms in Tahoe, Lake Tahoe. There's avalanches. It's insane. Wow. Little Rock. No, Heel Bevins, you got it. You got it right there. You got the 2 locations going on. Anandu, I'm so sorry if I didn't get that right. WMWW. Oh, are we WW Worldwide Developers Conference? I don't know. I can use Samsung Watch the same way to take photos and videos on my S23 Ultra. That's cool. See, that's the beauty of it. When you get devices that work together, like Samsung, they have one of the best ecosystems, I think, in the Android side, because you do get a good watch from Samsung. Samsung phones are really nice. They always push the bar forward. And I'm sorry, I looked ahead. But that's cool that they do it too. That's like if you get one of the Google watches with the pixels, you're going to get deeper integration. No, you're right. It's in Dixie Stampedes, and I didn't remember if it was North or South Carolina. They got 2 locations. Oh man, I am so behind today. Caesar, Hijack was good. It had some shocking moments. I don't want to spoil anything, but there were a couple moments that was like, what just happened? So I do like that one. Bill Wilson, 20 minutes. Oh gosh, I'm 17 minutes behind. And yeah, I gotta pick it up because dance. Pretty sure Dixie Stampede is in Tennessee. Hey, okay, now I gotta look it up. Dixie, we gotta see how many locations there are. Dixie Stampede. Dolly Parton Stampede. What? Did she take off? What is this Dolly Parton Stampede? Okay. Dixie Stampede change. Oh, why did Dixie that the change streamlines the name of the show, will remove any confusion or concern about, and will help efforts to bring the show into new cities. Oh, so it's been changed to Dolly Parton's Dixie Stampede. So I didn't realize that was Dolly Parton's. Now it's called Stampede. Ah, wow, I'm learning all kinds of things about a show I didn't need to know about. Stampede locations. Okay. Okay, I give up. I'm never going to find it. How many Dolly Stampedes? Okay, we got it. We got 1 in Tennessee. We got 2 in, Pigeon Forge, Branson, Myrtle Beach. Done. I know, for the rest of you who didn't care, I'm sorry. So now, that's good to know. Lawrence, Apple Home. HomeKit is almost abandonware. That is the thing. It's so weird because folks know HomeKit, but it's now Apple Home. And then you still got some devices that labeled HomeKit, but it's Apple Home. So yeah, it's a weird one where I feel like I'm in that weird space on what to call it for people who know. Because HomeKit devices were always, most of them are expensive and have been a barrier to entry. I'm not sure what's going on with Miros device and HomeKit. None of the devices are working properly. I've deleted them and re-added them, but still not working. One of the things I would double check is I would go under the Home app and see which device is your hub and restart that. Which device is your HomeKit hub, which HomePod or Apple TV. Because what I find is this Apple TV in here takes over, and anytime I seem to have lags and weird things happening, when I when it relinquishes control by unplugging it and another one takes over, it tends to fix things, and then ultimately it becomes a new one. It takes over again. That's the only thing I can think of if doing the removing it and starting it doesn't work. Yeah. Oh, Heel Bevins loves and uses HomeKit. That's where I love it I look at it, it's a smart home controller. Apple really focused on the smart home side. They know Siri sucks. Devon, we got brand new seasons of Sago Mini Friends and Fraggle Rock. Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock. I remember when that used to be on HBO when I was a kid. Wow. Season 2 of Sago Mini Friends comes out on January 26th, and Season 2 of Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock on March 29th. Oh man, that's such a flashback. I haven't watched any of the new ones. Oh, Nelson. Welcome, Nelson. Hey, finish shoveling. Snowblower. That was the thing I never understood in Massachusetts. The tradition of things. Like, people that I know that really they get generators, they get a lot of stuff to prepare for like New England weather, but none of them buy snowblowers. I was the dude from California with one. I'm like, I'll shoot snow all over the place. I'll do this all day, but I am not going to shovel. So that is, yeah, they're a lot of fun. You could go take care of neighbors' houses since it's so easy. John, the good if you know how to do or the program in Apple. I haven't found great information on how to do this. I do like Apple HomeKit too. Yeah, that is, I feel like that maybe I need to do one of those, kind of breaking down into some of the automations and some of the layers to it. And it's just trying to share. It's no different than when I started this channel, trying to share information about the Echoes. It's just like, hey, it can do this. And then some people are like, that's awesome, I want to use it. It's just a girl, 76. 76th year I was born. Don't do the math. Finally caught you live. Good evening from the UK. Welcome. David's from the UK. Andrea, David's wife. Thank you. She's in the UK. Andrew, UK. We got a lot of UK love here. I'm sorry, I know I'm missing someone. So thank you for being here. And let's see, lost my place. Gordon, as an Apple developer, a few months ago, I mentioned I was working on new AI software. We are almost finished the beta phase. It is working really well. Now, how are you using the AI side of software? I remember you mentioning it. Like, what's the strongest use case for you guys? Like, you're seeing the best success with? Because it's so weird to kind of like, what does the AI mean? You know, for some of these devices, you're like, with AI, my toothbrush, you're like, it counts how many, it runs for 2 minutes. So, but yeah, I'm curious on what the biggest benefits you're seeing from it. David, the Echo Hub seems a little pointless. It has a screen, no built-in camera. It doesn't seem to do much else compared to the shows. Yeah, channel members, go watch the member stream. Because like talking about that, I don't like how Amazon focuses their device energy. It's like, good enough, we're done. Let's go make another Echo over here that does something different to sell them. You know, they're making too many devices. They're fragmenting the system. Like, well, if you want a Fire TV experience, you get the 15. Well, why can't I have it on the 10? It's smaller, but I don't care. You know, it's a tablet size. Nope, not available on that. You know, stuff like that. It's like, stop fragmenting it and bring new features. Like that Echo Hub, all of its new features should be in the new Echoes. You know, enhance your current products, not just build a new one. Stormer, hi everyone, been a while. Good to see you here. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a bit since you've been able to make this stream, and I haven't been on Amazon as much. Lawrence, I found a HomePod Mini for $50 at a military exchange site. My Nanoleaf bulbs from Black Friday went on strike like a greedy actor and stopped working 75% of the time. You know, yesterday, I had a nanoleaf bulb here that didn't want to pay attention. I had one, this one decided the day before yesterday to not do it. And then I did the HomePod, or did the Apple TV restart, and then they start to play nice, where I don't get it. This stuff all hates us. Nelson, one thing I noticed with the Miros is that it's very picky. Hubs must be on 2.4 megahertz or LAN. I had issues too until I changed my Apple TV to LAN. Ah, that's interesting. That's, and yeah, some of these devices are really picky with the 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. And depending on your router, even though it's supposed to like auto switch, sometimes they aren't happy. If you can make a guest network or for your devices, and make that guest network, make that a 2.4 gigahertz only. Mine has an IoT network that I have set up to just be to do just 2.4 gigahertz, and I put all my smart devices on that. You did tell me more things I didn't know that you could do. Thanks. Cool, John. I'm glad. I appreciate that. Mitchell, it's everywhere. Dolly Parton's taken over. I didn't know she was doing that. John, yeah, new vacuum cleaners are getting better. The one I'm curious about, and I look forward to checking it out, is the SwitchBot S10, because it has self-filling for the water. So one of the biggest friction points with the vacuum and mop is refilling the water containers. So that is one I'd love to see more implement that. Aqara, Thread, Border Router, Smart Plug will be good if Thread follows through with credential sharing and it's cheap enough to make sense. Yeah, $30 range, more than that, get an Echo on sale. That's a good point, because Aqara Smart Plug, their current one is way overpriced. So it is way overpriced. Yeah, Andrew, Zolotech mentioned a Magic Keyboard update in the latest video. Yeah, there's supposed to be a Magic Keyboard update on this next round of iPads. Supposedly, possibly an aluminum build. And it has more of a MacBook Pro, MacBook feel. I don't know. I'm curious. See what happens there. I love the Magic Keyboard. Oh, not now. Dave just sent a screenshot of the Aqara voice controller to your Twitter. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even, and I haven't been on Twitter in like over a week. I've been hiding. Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. I guess they got their tags from the Apple factory from Apple. Can you just engrave these with Aqara? So, that's awesome. Thank you for sending that. Has anyone been having issues with FireCube 2nd Gen far as having to restart because it'll not send out volume to the TV? Mine does that often, and it's fully updated. I have not been using my Fire TV Cube though. If anyone else has an answer, please do share that. I keep the Fire TV 4K Max on this TV, but the Cube is currently packed away. Andrew, I got rid of my smart electric heaters. They couldn't cope with the plunge in temperatures in midwinter. Instead, using 2 Dyson Tower fans that blast into the room, save 35 pounds on electric in 1 month. Yeah, the space heaters are tough for you start getting below a certain temperature. Really hard to keep up. So yeah, that makes sense there. And those the Dyson stuff is awesome. Like pretty much anything Dyson makes, I'm willing to give it a shot. No, actually I'm not, because they're expensive as hell. But I assume it's good if Dyson's making it, because they've done such a great job. For my daughter's birthday, she got a Dyson hairdryer. And I guess this thing is like $600. I don't know. My wife got it for. But it's like crazy good. She has like this hairdryer that has all these different attachments, but you don't have to worry about the heat in the same way. So it's not going to burn anything, you know, if you leave it because of the way the heat, I don't know. But supposedly it's something that actually works well for her hair. But yeah, Dyson's incredible. I love their vacuum cleaners. Their little portable ones, the cordless, they're awesome, man. That's the one I always go for. No. Where am I at? Sorry. Lost my screen. There we go. Oh yeah, that's the other one I looked ahead. So, Birdland, hey, welcome. Is it worth update for the Google Pixel 7 Pro to the 8 Pro? If you're happy with the Pixel 8 Pro or Pixel 7 Pro, I don't think so. I think there's been such minor upgrades on it. They went from a Samsung display or from an LG display to Samsung. It's a little bit brighter. You get a couple of photo changes, but not really enough, I think, to upgrade. I personally would hold off till next October and look at the Pixel 9 Pro and see if they bring anything new to the table. But after owning the 7 and the 8, not a lot of difference. I do like the face unlock. It's not super secure, but I just like it over fingerprint sensors. Okay. It's just a girl, 76. One option, affordable option, is SwitchBot has one. SwitchBot lock. If you want to go down and dirty, easiest you're gonna get this here, and I did make a video on it on the channel. What this does is for renting, this gets, or just for ease of use, what this does is, I'm not even showing it. This lock here uses double stick tape to attach to your door. So with that, it attaches to the door. This comes with the little hub it needs to talk to, and you can use Siri shortcuts to trigger the lock, to have it lock through Siri, or you can use it with any of the smart assistants. It stays on with double stick tape, so if you don't want to damage anything, it does come with a little protective piece of tape so you don't damage the paint. But that's one of the no fuss at all. Now, other options that you can do that are easy. One that there's the August smart lock. This thing kind of went through batteries a little too quick, but you could look along this line. If you go with something like an August lock, what this does is it just replaces the inside handle. So to install it, you literally, like when you have your bolt inside, there's 2 screws. So you put it in the locked position, I think, remove the 2 screws. You put the bracket on from this, you put the bracket on in place, and then you just clip the lock in. So from the outside, you haven't rekeyed anything. It's all still the same. So from a landlord perspective, no difference. Easy to put back, so you could restore it really easily. So yeah, this would be the worst thing about this was the batteries were needed change like every 3 months, and they were like some C123 battery or something. But I'll drop this in there, and I'll drop in the chat along with the link to the SwitchBot one. And because if you're gonna buy it, I want a piece of this action. I want the 2%. But they also have a coupon on it, so a little bit over $100 with the hub included is not bad. So yeah, check those out, but look for something that just replaces the inside, because it really is easy to do. It's usually just attach a bracket in place of the little handle. Amazon Prime, I'm thinking of getting a while of it. Shipping was good. Thinking of getting rid of it. the shipping was good, but the party, you still have to pay for it. And now they're going to start having ads on Prime. Yeah, on Amazon Prime, ads are starting at the end of the month. The only good thing is that I don't watch much in the way of Prime. So, John, I do let Apple pick. I do let Apple pick the hub. The problem is for some reason, I don't know why, this one Apple TV takes over, and it seems like the only time I have issues that I can't explain with a restart or lagging on those devices, it's usually when I remove that as the hub, something else takes over, everything works fine. Then I plug it back in. Eventually it becomes the hub again. Everything works fine. And then 3 months later, I have something act up and I give it a little restart. But yeah, you can't choose what hub Apple uses, which is kind of weird. Lawrence finished up For All Mankind. Need to find a new show while we wait for 2 years for the next season. Yeah, For All Mankind is a great show. Very little slow the first 2 or 3 episodes, but definitely worth it. Stormer, yeah, I definitely like that show. And if you're not familiar with it, the best way I would describe it is, imagine where the space program would be today if we never took our foot off the gas from the 60s, just straight forward, nothing but forward progress and serious competition. And, the first seasons, like the 60s and 70s of space, and, the storyline, then the 80s, and then the 90s in the third season. And we just finished the 2000s, like 2012. And it's not all future spacey technology. It would be like really if we just kept moving with the space program. So great show. Check it out if you haven't. Stormer, I got to do some shoveling today too. We got dumped on good here in Michigan. Still coming down fast too. Snow will be there next year too. So that's one of those things, like I would say to like in-laws, I'm like, I don't know why you guys don't own snow blowers. The winter is not taking a vacation. It's going to be here next year too. You'll get your money's worth. So yeah, that's the Californian. I'm also blown away in New England when houses don't have garages. And I say that to people and they go, oh yeah, garages are expensive to add to houses. I'm like, yeah, after the fact. If you build it in, it's a little more of a concrete pad and 3 more walls. But yeah, it's tradition for so many houses not to have garages. Blows me away as a Californian. Devon, 2024 Super Bowl is just 29 days away. Be sure to get Super Bowl tickets before they're sold out. Oh my God, I can't afford that. No. Super Bowl ticket. Super Bowl Los Angeles. Is it 2025? That we're getting it again, or 2027? I think LA gets it again. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, LA is getting the Super Bowl again, February of 27, which was weird to see happening here. Oh, John, Amazon is using all their money on space. Well, that's Jeff Bezos' little baby, I think. I'm wondering if Amazon has a piece of action in that, or if that was, because I thought Bezos pretty much funded that. Andrew, something I can't get my head around. My soundbar is basically an inch off the floor. Your face is 5 feet up in the air, yet no sound separation. How so? My soundbar is basically an inch off the floor. The being an inch off the floor is going to be the tough part because so much of this sound separation requires reflecting surfaces. And if you have carpet and being low, you're going to get a lot of bounce off of there. Virtual surround sound, spatial audio, all that stuff's great. In a room like this, if I had nothing else in it, and my TV was here, there would be walls to bounce that sound off of. Now, you take that low, your head's up here, and that spatial sound is either bouncing weird off your floor, but it's not getting that sound from around you. One of the things I learned early on from reading an article from Bose Bose studied sound, and what you actually hear when you watch a concert, only about like 10 or 20% of the sound comes from the speakers. The other 80 to 90%, I forget the exact numbers, is bouncing around. So they've done that science years ago in the bouncing audio, where Bose actually had corner speakers that rotated. So part of it bounced to get this side to get your left, where the bottom went to your right. So you have to think about how the sound is moving around. But I think it's too low. I think that, and what I would do is, if you can, put it on a stand right in front of the TV and see if you hear separation. With screens, you might be a pain, but it is another option to improve your sound. I don't know how well it'll work with most screens. It might just be a different type of screen, but movie theaters, the sound is behind the screen. It could be a little test. I think their screens are perforated so the sound comes through, but I think it's just too low, and that's killing it. Bill, thank you for the update. I'm only 11 minutes behind, but we're picking up the pace. What happened to Aqara new door? Sorry, a lot bigger than the other ones. The new door sensor. The Aqara, yeah, okay. I always go to Amazon because they're usually the cheapest place, and that's where Aqara sends you. Aqara door sensor, yes. Okay, with Aqara stuff, they're one of my favorite brands to use. Here's their door sensors. This door sensor requires a hub to connect to. This is using Matter over Thread. So you will need a Thread border router. For example, that could be an Echo 4th generation, the new Echo Show 8. It could be a HomePod, the Google Home stuff that supports it. And this, you won't need a hub. You just connect directly to that Thread router using Matter, and that's it. So if you looked at this, you'd pay $17, and then if you get the E1 hub, you're looking at $50 for your first sensor. But then these are way cheaper. So personally, I like how robust these are connecting to the Aqara hub, that I only buy these. I have the P2 that was sent to me. Kind of works great. It's just I would rather have everything connect to the hub instead of the border router. Let's see. Stormer. Oh yeah, say hi to Bill. Susan. I love my Dyson hairdryer. Expensive, true, but it's amazing. Yeah, my daughter loves it. My wife has very curly hair. My daughter has blonde hair that wants to curl and could get a little frizzy with humidity. My other daughter has just hair lays down, just silky smooth, really awesome, good hair. But yeah, so meant firmware update for Magic Keyboard. That I didn't know. I didn't know there's a firmware update. I'll have to look at that. But so, Philip Hue outdoor cameras, what a ripoff. That Philip Hue outdoor camera is a perfect example of a product that I have zero interest in, because this is just Philip Hubris. Philip Hue camera. It's like, get out of here. Who do you think you are? You gotta be kidding me, Hugh. You're coming in with a 249 1080p camera? Get out of here. You should be coming in with a $49 camera going, can we please come to the camera party too? Not coming in like you own the space. Get out of here. So yeah, I would not buy that at all, because I wouldn't want anybody to actually listen to me and just spend their money on it. Can you send a link, please? Yes. I got both links in there for you. It's just a girl. One above is the lock. Is the August, and then the other one. And definitely take a look around. You just want to look at, okay, and you said it. You are a legend. Finally someone agrees with me. Now tell my wife that, please. So thank you very much. Switch from Fire Stick to Roku Pro. Streaming bar, it's sweet. Very cool. I know, people love the Roku and NVIDIA Shield. Like those are two that open up possibilities that like the Fire TV stick doesn't have. I'm willing to bet the Fire TV stick, the Roku Pro, probably doesn't have the ads that the others are. No, David, Green Day are on tour in the UK in June, not paying 220 plus a ticket. I paid £80 last time. Oh my God, that's crazy. I don't even know what my wife has spent on concerts in the past 6 months. She's wanted to go to concerts. I have zero desire to go. So she's been, and there's venues she's wanted to go, like the Greek Theater and the Hollywood Bowl. And she's seen bands from the 80s I've never heard of. But she went and saw the Eagles the other day. And then she took our daughters to see Katy Perry in Vegas. She's been on a whole kick. It's been crazy. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, big too is she goes with, there's another mom that she goes with, one of my daughter's friends' mom. And I'm like, go to town, have a great time. I have zero desire. She's able to check off these places. She's having a blast with someone else who likes to see the shows. Yeah. I'm like, have fun. Gordon, I don't know why California doesn't have basements. That's where we have garages. Earthquake, you think about it, 1906 or something, like California, San Francisco was like destroyed in an earthquake and like burned to the ground. I'm sure that I would think that may have a part to do with it. And I'm not saying that in a facetious sense, but I'm wondering if things like, 100 years ago, you get an earthquake like that destroys a major city. And then you have LA that would get the earthquakes, that if it just kind of said, we're going to keep these off the table here because we don't know where these are all coming from. But that would be my best guess. That'd be my theory. Chantal, I wonder if there'll be a second season of Silo. Love that series probably because... why? Okay, finally. There, move. Let me see. Yeah, I love that series probably because of the strikes. Everything is late. Yeah, and Apple, they just leave gaps in there too. Like they did a big old break on Ted Lasso, I think, between 2 and 3. But yeah, Silo, where are they going to go with that? Like, I don't want any spoilers, but the way that last episode ended, what's going to go on there? And how did they get to that point? So yeah, I'm curious on that too. John, the new snowblower robots are coming out so you can sit and watch. I like that. I need one of the new pool robots. Like I have one with the pool vacuum with the cord. I need the cordless. I'm out of touch. Ernesto, an audio lag. What can I do? Greetings from Honduras. Welcome in Honduras. I would say give it a refresh because there really shouldn't be any audio lag. Let me know if anyone else is experiencing that. My bit rate's been good, and the past 2 hours I've lost 0.3% of frames. We're pretty good, I think. Oh, hey, Bill is dug out and headed to work. Thank you, Bill, for being here, man. Safe travels, being on the road. Definitely safe travels, man, with the snow and all. Ernesto, hi, Craig. I have an Apple TV 4K connected to my Samsung Smart TV via HDMI ER. Can I regularly use the TV speaker and the HomePods all together for sound? Since last OS update, for some reason, there is an audio lag. Oh, what can I do? Oh, I'm so sorry. I've read them out of order. Well, sorry, I'm just trying to picture the connection. So Apple TV is going in via eARC. Yeah, see, you know what I would restart the Apple TV. That would be the first thing I'd restart. With software update, yeah, I don't know. That makes no sense. I would check for software updates. Hopefully it's just a temporary so hopefully there's a software update that will fix that. But that sound, I would also double check your TV. Double check the TV, see if there's a firmware update. Samsung TVs, may need those sometimes. But power off everything. That's number one. If you haven't done that, then look for software updates for both. I would also try changing your default source in the Apple TV back to TV speakers and then back to HomePods and see if that works. But that's the only steps I could think of. Other than that, if a software update kind of messed up your, is it an older Apple TV that the latest update just kind of kicked it out, kicked it behind, took away that? Or, there's part of me that wonders, did Apple change something inside intentionally? Because they don't want you to do that, just to control the experience more. I don't know. Andrew, you misunderstood with the large area between soundbar and screen. I would expect more sound separation. There is none. With the large area between soundbar and screen. The biggest thing with sound is very linear. Sound is so linear. That's what people don't realize. Like I spent 25 years in the entertainment industry as in the lighting industry. And I work next to sound guys, and some of them can be the biggest pain in the butt because sound is so linear. They literally will make a map of sound for speakers, and they'll be like, my sound needs to go right here. And I'm like, I got a light there, and you never put your sound on our plot. Right there, because it has to point, and there's leeway in it, but audio is very linear. So if that's not at your face and it's not bouncing around, the separation isn't going to be there. Shape of room will play a big part. Me doing it sound this way totally jacks up the separation from the HomePods because they're now hitting off of monitors. That's a big thing, is sound is so linear. So I would really play with placement just from a sound, just to go, okay, from this far away, I don't notice a difference. Like, I would play around with some positioning and see, because that's it's just not pointing at you. It's not getting enough bounce. So a bunch of glass in the room, that could change the way the sound bounces around. But yeah, you can actually aim sound. They have like beam-forming sound where you could shoot sound at person, and people outside of it don't hear it as well because it is so linear. It is, it's there's a spread. Speakers only do that, and anything on the outside sound starts to fall off pretty quick. There you go. There's a sound explanation most of you didn't need to hear about. Oh yeah, Bill, I see that. And I'm sorry if I totally understand. I totally see that I can misunderstand. I don't want to, but yeah, large areas, the separation is going to be tough. For me, the ideal spot is the sound bar should be right under the TV, facing you. You're seated down, your head is kind of centered up at the screen, the sound immediately under, your side channels if you can, to get those up some. But yeah, that's a lot of that stuff. And that's the way I try some of these different things, is really off access, try some different range. Are you getting bounce? Is some of that surround supposed to kind of bounce off a back wall? Because the HomePod is utilizing that back wall too. Does the screen affect it? So I would try listening off access in different places and learn your speakers to see if there's the speakers just may not be cutting it. It just might not cut it in the soundbar. Roundabouts and winter don't mix. I totally see that, man. That is just, yeah. That's a perfect example. I'm like, straight intersections make a lot more sense. Eagles put on a fantastic show. That's cool. Yeah, my wife left town the next day, so I didn't even get to ask her. Yeah, and my wife took my daughter to see Billie Eilish. Someone I work with took her daughter. is crazy about Taylor Swift. She paid 700 pounds on 2 tickets. Yeah. One of my daughter's friends went to Taylor Swift. My neighborhood, I live in a nice place. We got a nice little middle class neighborhood, but yeah, there's some expensive houses nearby. Some cute, like every probably 30% of the kids in my daughter's school went to go see Billie Eilish for some ridiculous amount over 3 days that she was performing. It was like, you realize you got this better than I've ever had it. You guys got a pretty damn good life. So, John, last week in Texas, we had over 60-mile winds for 24 hours. That's the stuff that scares me. The winds scare me because California, that's where we get all the wildfires in California. That is because of the wind, usually knocks something down and just carries a fire. So, yeah, so stay safe. Take things down when power outages in the winter. God, Texas had that brutal year. I totally misunderstood, John, what you're saying. Susan, me too, insofar of as a cordless pool cleaner. I haven't tried one yet. I bought mine like 6 years ago. It's been awesome. It's been so nice having the pool vacuum clean up stuff, especially when our wind gets crazy. The leaves get bad. But yeah, I haven't tried one. I'm just seeing a lot of options out there now. David, my Samsung TV has Apple settings within the TV itself. Maybe check the settings there too. That's a good call. Both my Samsung TVs I think are too old and don't have that. But yeah, that's good to know. Break time. He's trying to listen to audio on the TV and HomePods at the same time. I know. I eventually figured it. Yeah, if I read, I'd know. But read things. Thank you. Break time. Good seeing you here. I know there's a saying somewhere that lets you sync the audio, but I don't know where it's at exactly. I'm not at home to look. I don't know. I'd have to dig in the settings on it. Friends don't let friends use sound bars. It's time for it's the Wi-Fi bulb of the home theater. Oh my gosh. David, good. I'm glad you and Andrea are both over your chest infections now. Good. Yeah, that's chest infections, winter, all the colds going around. Man, I still feel like I'm dragging since I've had COVID. I'm like, I'm like, I just feel like I have no energy. Just feel like I haven't got my energy back. So yeah, I hope you guys are feeling better. I said this in my member stream, I hate the idea of like, I've heard and read about long haul COVID, like people having fatigue and brain fog and loss of taste. And I just feel tired ever since I've had it. But I don't want to give in and embrace it and go, I have long haul COVID. I'm like, nope, don't have it. Dang it, I hope I don't. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. It's 10:18. I went longer than I thought. And thank you, Bill. You helped keep me on track with this stuff because I don't pay enough attention. But anyways, I am going to get out of here. No live stream next Saturday. I have some family stuff Saturday. The following Saturday also with the family. And then we'll be back the next Saturday. Maybe I should do a Sunday stream the following week. I haven't done one of those in a while. Yeah, maybe we need a stream. Not now. David, I know someone who's had COVID 4 times now. Not sure who he's been hanging around with. Yeah, 4 times. Man, not sure about that immune system. I would think after the first 1 or 2 times, you would like kind of build up the immune system. That's a little scary. So, Chantal, bye to you too, and thank you for being at the member stream this morning. Devon, the 2024 movie Mean Girls came out yesterday, and it's Google Play movies. Oh, so you can actually watch it on Google Play? That's nice. That I know nothing about the new Mean Girls. I think my wife and daughters were watching it because I think they're gonna see this one. So that'll I didn't realize it came out. So I'm behind on my movies. But thank you for that. John, thank you. Have a great weekend too. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'll catch you guys. Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be like 3 weeks unless I do a Sunday stream. And David, great show as always. Great. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys. You know, I get to come here, talk tech. My wife doesn't have to listen to me talk tech at her. I don't have to see her eyes glaze over. All that's good stuff. So I appreciate you guys. Anyways, thank you for being here. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll let you know when I'm back. And Nelson, oh man, thank you, and you have a great weekend too. I'll see you guys later. Bye.